Welcome back to part 2 of the Roman fort build, guys. I went ahead and rounded out the corners. I just thought it looked better that way. And I'm going to show you how we're going to prep this and basically put a covering on this so it starts to look like mud, earth. Now here I'm going to show you, just like on the Two Fat Lardies video, he ran several beads of hot glue because all we need is a small rise where it basically indicate where the Roman soldiers have basically dug a ditch and thrown the bulk of the earth up onto an embankment. And we're going to be topping everything with, well, the hill anyway, or the rampart with earth texture. Why earth texture? Because it has a rubbery consistency when it dries. It's very durable. It will not crack and flake off like spackle or grout or any of those kinds of building materials. Really are not made for this situation. Certainly cases that you could use that material and make it look really, really good. And you can see how nice and smooth this product is. I'm calculating I'm going to need about 2.5 jars of this. I can get it online for $12 a bottle. So it's not a huge expense for something that my main concern is I want this to look realistic, like it has texture. B, I want it to be durable, right? I want to be able to use this fort for years and years and years and lots of Hail Caesar games and other types of games, like possibly French and Indian Wars, something like that. This could be a fortress, a British fort or an American fort, French fort. So I get multiple uses out of this fort. So, and you can see I love applying it. I've got the sculpting tool there. You can get a whole package of those, as I've said before. $20-25 on Amazon. They're stainless steel. This is the tool I like to use for large areas. And you see it just spreads right on. You can put it on I will be putting it on the ends. And at first it's looking like it's going to be a big cake with icing, right? And keep in mind, I'll be traveling to the craft store this coming weekend, and I will be picking up lots of the cheap bottles of art paint, acrylic art paint. I'll be dry brushing some of it on the new fabric for our game board, our game mat, homemade game mat, and others I'll get some brown earth, and once I'm done putting the hot glue beads on the front, I will cover everything with a brown paint. Now I'm going to show you how I'm going to make the palisades or the timber walls. I'm doing 2 inches because I'm just going to, for durability sake, I am sticking these all the way through the foam, right? So I'll eat up more sticks this way, but it'll be much more difficult to damage these walls once they're done. On the Two Fat Lardies, he cut like a little trench like the Roman soldiers would have done and glued in glued them in at just maybe like 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 of an inch. This way, this is about 1.5 inches thick foam. It's perfect for pushing these through. And I have found after I've already done one corner that it's better to just put the earth texture on first, and then before it completely dries, put your skewers in. It's much more difficult to put that texture on when the walls are built. So I reversed my process. Again, I'm learning. I've already learned a couple things after just building one corner unit. I got my little Roman dude. He's off one of my elephant troops, and I keep him handy just to make sure everything is in scale as far as up to a miniature. And a couple of the other 2 remaining corners, I'll be putting ramparts so that the troops have an area they can get up onto the ramparts. Right? And this gives them a very good defensive position. Now, these were marching forts. I don't believe they built forts like this every night. I believe they built them and stayed in them for a few days to basically gather themselves And as they came back through the area again, they would have ready-made forts. Now this is the finished process. Now what I'm going to do this weekend, I'm going to go to a craft store and get some heavy, probably heavy tan thread, and I will wind it and twist it through the palisade to make it look like the Romans had lashed the beams together, or lashed them together. But you see the imposing wall that it forms for an attacker. And I'll run those beads down through here with some hot glue, and that will basically be the trench. Thanks for coming along today, guys, and look forward to part 3.